What's up, everybody? My name is Elliott. I got a little too late of a start this morning to do the jump into frame thing, but right now we are on our way to Cars and Coffee in Scottsdale, Arizona. Right now I am driving a C7 Corvette ZR1 followed by a Porsche GT3 RS and a 488 Spider. But I'm really excited to see what Scottsdale Cars and Coffee has to offer. Should be a little tiny bit more exotic than what shows up at Wichita normally. Just got here. Obviously just got out of the ZR1, but look at the spread that we've got so far. And this is just in our little section. 488, 355, Boxster Spider, Mercedes SLS. It's not Hoovies, but it's like identical spec. 430 Scuderia, C6 ZR1. This is the GT3 RS that we arrived with. And this 95 Supra. Lizard green GT3 RS. And a 430 Spider. Right-hand drive original Mini pulling up. We'll hit all of this, but I'm just blown away and still trying to wake up. 39 or 40 Ford. 3 on the tree. Cars and Coffee Wichita used to be in a smaller area like this, and it used to be more intimate. But this is like harkening back to those roots. It's awesome. Okay, something you won't see at Cars and Coffee in Wichita every day. Look what just pulled up. Yeah, don't see Carrera GTs every day, let alone being driven, let alone showing up to car shows. So pretty exciting. Let's take a look at this thing.
Take a closer look at it because yours is a 05 too, right? Really were, but at the end of the day,
I don't want to bother him right now, but that's just awesome. Looky here. Oh, investment. I like that plate. Investment. I like it. I like it. Shelby Super Snake and his plate, Soup Snake. Very cool. Man, apparently I got really excited about the SLS that parked next to us. Yeah. And there's one here and there's a red one over there. This is just the Civic of Cars and Coffee here. Vantage GT. Very, very cool. Oh, manual.
Yeah, this is an expensive car.
I'm excited about all these exotics and rare European cars that I don't get to see in Wichita all that often. And Jacob's like, Chevy, look at this Corvette. I'm like, yeah, I know, cool, but we got to stay focused on the...
You see the exotics out on the road here. It's like you don't see the old stuff out on the road here as much.
We got a Charger Hellcat on slicks. These are hated cars, but a 968 convertible. Definitely don't see these very much. 600 LT. Yeah.
Here, I think my one.
Ooh, it's a GT2. These are my people. So this one looks like it's based off of a C6. But
Good news is it's fuel injected.
yeah. Oh, good. It's fuel injected, probably because it's a C6. Star of the show so far is pristine Ford Focus. And what's nice is you can get the contrast of two cars that were sold side by side in Ford dealerships around the same time. So you got the amazing, clean Focus, backed in, show ready. And then, of course, the Ford GT. Very interesting exhaust. Apparently it's just chock full of whoop ass. Good to see what Ford had to offer in the early 2000s side by side. Okay, so I heard this thing coming a few blocks away. That's a Jacob style cam.
Oh yeah.
Where it's barely running.
I get that is an 11 out of 10 job.
Yeah. I hope my mic didn't just like overmodulate for that, but oh well. Yeah, 240 Prowler in a color I enjoy. Yeah, Jacob did call this a Corvette Row. It is pretty accurate. Trackhawk. I'm not even doing a good job of commentary because I feel like everyone else is like really quiet. At Cars and Coffee Wichita, everyone's like, feels like everyone's yelling and walking around and stuff. And this, I'm like doing a nature documentary. Look at the Continental. Jacob did call this C3 astronaut spec, and I think that's pretty accurate. Don't trip over the cactus. That's something I also don't have to worry about in Wichita.
Did it stab you?
No, barely missed me. XK120 without.
Look at
Oh, yeah. Like sheep.
that. Yeah, that's so cool.
That's so cool.
So British.
Saw this pull in the right-hand drive Mini. Upcoming Jacob for scale. And that's the whole car. It looks like, yeah, your wingspan can almost get the whole car. Look at this. You're a Triumph man.
Oh yeah.
I don't know my Triumphs as well, but this thing is awesome.
It has Pan Sports, which is cool.
Pan Sports, it's got like the passenger area blocked off.
Fiber dash.
Yeah. Look at that.
Oh, is that fuel injection? Wow.
Very cool. Oldsmobile Cutlass convertible. I know I kind of skipped over these on the first go around, but I need to get a coffee and a donut, which is also what we're here for. But the cool part is the guy that's hosting this has cars inside where you get the cars and coffee, which is definitely a step up than the cars and coffee that I'm used to.
This is where the talking is.
This is the social area. But look at this place. He's got, first of all, everything in the right color. 360. This is like exactly how I want a 430, 458 in the correct spec. Magnum PI spec 308. This is awesome. Everything automotive themed. I actually thought these were other guys. I walked in here, I was like, I don't want to bother them. I don't want to come in vlogging, but nope, it's the boys. This is like a memorabilia store, but nothing's for sale. Bathrooms labeled correctly. For kings only. Oh man, this is awesome. Even look at this shuffleboard table. It's sitting on like gears and suspension work. I mean, it's obviously custom, but it's just meant to look mechanical and really cool. Let me get some coffee, let me get a donut, and then it's right back to the car action. Okay, I'm now coffeed up, so we're good to go. As you can tell, a lot more awake and a lot more alert. That's how fast coffee works. Anyway, look at this GT3, yellow with green accents, and it's a Canadian spec car. I only know that because Jake and his dad know that guy, but it's still beautiful. Check this thing out. Simply amazing. And as I said before, what I can't believe is that these SLS AMGs are just like the Civic of this Cars and Coffee. In Wichita, when Hoovy showed up with his, it was a showstopper. Here, there's like 4 of them. As you guys know from the last Cars and Coffee, big fan of customized plates. I like it. This one says it's an Outlaw. And I don't know if it's gonna come off on camera, but the plates here look like they're printed on like cardboard. They look fake. They are, that is a real legit plate. So, oh, here's a funny one. So 718 Boxster with a burble plate. Notice it is not the Boxster S, which I would assume burble more. So somewhere out there is a guy with a Boxster S or a Ford Focus ST that is really mad that the plate burble is not available. I'll say this, the lighting here is very extreme. We go from being like, all right, here, this is pretty cool, to just like, sun in my face.
Yeah.
And I know what you're looking. Elliott, why didn't you bring sunglasses? Jacob's got sunglasses on, that makes sense. Well, I forgot them.
You packed too light.
Now I get to squint. Very cool, 63 split window with the 4-speed. My dad had one of these when I was little that was silver with red interior, and it was the fuel injected car, so I have a very huge soft spot for 63 split windows. Not to mention, they're just really, really cool and extreme looking. What a beautiful car.
What are those, 40? Nice.
One thing that I did notice about this particular parking spot is just over this fence is where the dumpster is, and the wind is blowing this way. So I would say these two spots are probably the least desired spots because you're just getting dumpster stink all over your nice GT3 and M4 CS. Not desirable. What I'm coming over here for is some cars that got unfortunately left out of the main cars and coffee thing, because as you can see, cars are getting a little bit more plain until this AMG GTR Pro. Oh my goodness. Woo. See, this is more like a Wichita plate. Just says GTR Pro. Just gets straight to the point. Also, double props for getting a plate that matches the color theme of this car. Arizona has so many license plate options. It allowed this guy to get not only a custom plate, but a custom plate that matches the color theme of his car. Pretty cool. Nice E-Class convertible. This is when you feel like a weirdo vlogging, when you're walking around talking to the camera, but there's nobody around you to kind of like justify it. It's when you feel like a crazy person. This Ford Focus attracts the best cars in the show, I swear. Gone is the Ford GT, but now the Ford Focus gets to complement this NSX. And this is in an awesome pearl white spec with red interior. These cars are absolutely stunning, and you just don't see them that often. Like, these cars should have been everywhere, but you just don't see them. I mean, look at this thing. Maybe one day on the channel I can get one because it kind of fits my mold. It's a supercar, but it's still a hybrid. I could still drive around in electric only for actually longer than I could in the Prius. So, you know, we get that subscriber count up, we get a little bit more channel flow going. Maybe an NSX would happen one day. Move back over to the Corvette crowd because I spotted some good plates. Only one. Pretty cool center exhaust. I'm not exactly sure what makes it the only one. And this Z06 has a really good plate too. Is fast. Oh, there's a Giulia Quadrifoglio. That's cool. Lexus hybrid. See, didn't even hear him coming. So we got a smart car here that he has done the Mercedes badge swap, because if you didn't know, Mercedes owns Smart. So it's not technically up badging. I guess it's like lateral badging. Okay, so I've been saying Jacob's really Midwesting up this whole experience. Every time I see a Ferrari, and then Jacob's like, ooh, El Camino. Which, it is nice. And it's got racing seats, and C6 wheels.
And brakes.
Oh, but look at this collector's edition Grand Sport. This is the one with the cool blue interior. Awesome. Oh, 997 turbo with center locks. Those center lock wheels would have been very, very expensive on the 997, as were the carbon ceramic brakes. Now it's kind of like standard on the turbos. You pretty much can't get one without it. Man, this 600 LT is in such a cool color. Look at that, with the yellow calipers. I love it, I love it, I love it. And these buckets are so cool. They're so extreme. Sun. Check this out, a green 355 Ferrari. Very, very interesting. I don't even know if it's going to come off on camera because it's so subtle. That has to be a rare color. I couldn't tell you, but it is a manual, and he does have like an aftermarket steering wheel, or not aftermarket, but the airbag delete steering wheel. Familiar territory over here, Hellcat, but this one does look modified.
It's got two-piece rotors.
Oh, look at this. We've got a good plate, folks. Meow. Get it? Wow, meow. It's good stuff. I love a good plate. Oh, and he parked next to the other kitty. Waffles some? No, it's wife loves me. Or it's either wife loves me or waffles some. Waffles some. Oh look, as I said, the Civic of this Cars and Coffee, another SLS AMG. But this is the color combo that I would want. Silver with red interior. Here's a good one. Mustang GT with the plate houses, or horses if you have a speech impediment. Jacob thinks they're in real estate, not that they're making a horse pun. It's possible. Not to be missed, the 458 Speciale, and he has the hood open. Amazing. I don't want to hang over too much. This little fin is definitely my favorite part of 458 Speciale-ness. It's the Speciale-est part of it. Back inside now, one thing to point out, you got obviously Ferraris and everything else, but of note is this Whizzer. Look at this. These were very, very popular back in their day, and just have a really cool name, which also is what you have to say if you have to go pee. That's really cool. That one was like in pristine condition. But yeah, look at this memorabilia. Oh, I got airplanes up here. Wow. I probably just made everybody dizzy. Made myself dizzy. Oh, look at this. Look at this plate. 430 Ferrari. You get it? Oh, 458 Ferrari.
He does it on all of them.
A theme. Yeah. A theme. It's actually a really special 911, the Carrera RS, and it's in this really, really cool, I know Porsche guys out there are gonna be like, oh, it's this color. I don't know what it is. It's a really, really cool pink, and absolutely, if I could have any 993, it would be in that color, pretty much this exact car. And these cars are worth a ton of money, but to the unassuming eye, it kind of looks like a standard 993. But if you know, you know.
It was too slippery, and limited slip.
And of course, not to be missed, I know we kind of already hit it when it first showed up, but the Carrera GT, and it's in pretty much the as advertised color combo. And he's got the top off, which I love even more. This is why this was always my favorite of the hypercars of this era, because the top came off. It's the best way to enjoy your hypercar. This was the hypercar before that was a term. It was this, the Enzo, the Ford GT, and the McLaren SLR were all out around the same time. And this and the Enzo really were the ones that kind of still held the high mark. But just look at this. What a beautiful, beautiful car. Oh, stunning from every angle. And I got Corvette guys ruining my audio. It's astonishing. I can't believe this car is, well, more than 10 years old now. Got a GTR over here with a really good plate. Got a Zombie Baby back here, and then RIP V8s. Because this thing's a V8 killer. It's awesome. Saw this pulling in, the collector's edition C7 Grand Sport, and look at this interior. That is just loud. I love it, and it matches the stripes. Really, really love that color combo. Miami Blue GT3 RS. Looks like a Weissach package. Also very, very cool. Nice Porsche area. Yellow 570S. Guys, would you believe it? Another Mercedes SLS. I've never seen more of them in one place. It's amazing. And I've never actually seen a red one in person. So check this out, a supercharged 993 Porsche.
Oh yeah.
That's very different.
They do the paddle shifters were essentially just controlling the linkage. They would just throw and it was cheap. It was like 27 grand or something.
Really bringing the Midwest back. An F-150 Lightning in black. Most of those are red. That's pretty cool. Casual 308 over here. More Porsches. An older Porsche. This is a really good spec 355 Spider. It's got newer like 360 wheels on it, but just a really good classic red on tan. And it does have the Scuderia shields, which are, in my opinion, a must-have option. Of course, we got really prime parking over here. This is the 488 we showed up with. This is the ZR1 I drove. It's the only one here. I did not park with the other Corvettes, but oh well. I absolutely love Boxster Spiders, and I'm actually really excited because this guy has the top up, and you can see the canvas type attachment, how it's just kind of like on here. Apparently these are like a real pain to put up, but they look so, so cool, both top up and top down. This is absolutely the Boxster that I would want if I was in the market. C6 ZR1 right across from the C7 ZR1. It's in beautiful, beautiful shape. Love the plexiglass windows showing the top of the supercharger on this. And another car that doesn't stand out because it's black is a 430 Scuderia. So if you don't know, this is the like the Z06 of 430s.
He goes, well, can I give you some numbers? I go, I did.
And the center exhaust and Scudley.
And I said, Lottie.
Get it? Another good plate. I love that these guys have good plate taste out here. I'm gonna definitely miss that when I go back to Wichita. Another thing not to be missed is this silver 360 Spider. This is like the show for unassuming Ferrari colors. It's so classy. It's awesome. And while we're on the theme, it's got a pretty good plate too. Well done. which is either a play on what he thinks of the car or how he likes his steak. So we were checking out this E92 M3. Jacob asked, hey, have you done the bearings on that? A common problem with these cars. And she goes, yeah, I still have them in the trunk. Do you want to see? So I'm like, yeah. I love how you keep these with you.
I know, it's like kind of funny.
They're a showpiece.
Well, because people are always like, nah, you don't need to get them done. I'm like, well, you kind of do.
Totally
Yeah.
Mine isn't bad, like, but there's some that are like super bad.
Yeah.
It starts to go like, it's still, it's the top side that seems to like really do it.
It's a race engine.
It go fast.
It's a race engine on the street.
Some people actually make bracelets out of these. It's kind of cool. I'm like,
That's
so
pretty
tempted.
funny.
I'm like,
Of course, you got the claw scratch halos that are changing color. Oh, look. The CTS-V is for sale, and apparently it goes 197 miles per hour. I know that because he's written it on the card. Interesting. All right, so we just got done with Cars and Coffee. Right now, we're rolling over to go see this guy's private collection. Apparently, he's got a bunch of vintage European cars, like vintage Ferraris, vintage Porsches, all sorts of stuff. I can only imagine what's in store for us. But it's also really fun rolling over there in this caravan of 3 cars that are just unbelievable. Look at this stoplight that we've got going on right now. 488, 66 Corvette, GT3 RS. It's a pretty typical stoplight, I guess, for this area. Okay, so this guy's got a custom plate. I know it's old in AZ, but it definitely looks like old nads. So he's calling himself Old Balls, which is probably pretty accurate. All right, so we just got done touring this amazing private collection. I wish I could show you some pictures, but what I can show you is there was a 1934 Alvis in there. And yes, they actually made a car with my last name at some point, and they're very rare, and I never thought I'd be able to get to see one. But today, I got to see one. That was definitely the highlight of the tour for me, even though there were a bunch of Ferraris and vintage Porsches and just priceless things in there. The fact that I got to see a real Alvis, it's just hard to describe. Okay guys, so we made it back to the house. I couldn't film much driving because it was just kind of a hands full. I don't exactly know where we're going, and you don't really want to try to film and text and drive while driving somebody else's 6-figure car. So, needless to say, I kind of had to just skip to where we arrived. Anyway, that private collection was just ridiculous. Cars and Coffee this morning was indescribably awesome. Everything has just been out of this world. Driving with these 3 awesome cars, the ZR1, the 488, and the GT3 RS, which is in there. It's the stuff car dreams are made of. And of course, you see the E46 M3 tucked away. Anyway, I think that's going to do it for today's episode. My name is Elliot. Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, do all the normal YouTube stuff, and I will see you on the next video. Little bonus content here. You remember this from a video before. Explored the trash in it. There's not much trash. But this is a very special car if you know. A BMW Z8 Alpina. Now, the regular Z8s are rare, and this takes that rarity up a notch. Let me know in the comments below if you want to see a video on this one day. It's pretty cool.